direction and the mirror's reflection. I'm a dancing with myself when there's no one else inside, in the crowded lonely night. Well, I wait so long for my love vibration, and I'm dancing with myself.
Teenage Katie Heron was educated in Africa by her scientist parents. When her family moves to the suburbs of Illinois, Katie finally gets to experience electrical engineering school and gets a quick primer on the cruel, tactical laws of properties that divide her fellow students into tightly knit cliques. She unwittingly finds herself in the good graces of an elite group of cool engineers dubbed the conductors and insulators. But Katie soon realizes how her shallow group of new friends earned the nickname.
I'm so going to mention you. What is important that I can tell you about? The cafeteria is terrible. You're going to want to buy your lunch at the school store. I suggest the white cheddar Cheez-Its. What else? Oh, the conductor's an insulator. In the name of all that is holy, look at Insulator's gym clothes.
Is that a shirt or a bandage?
I don't know, Katie, but I do know that insulator is a material whose internal electrical charges do not flow freely. Very little electrical flow, not bright at all. Damien sat next to her in English last year.
Yep, she asked me how to spell orange. She has higher resistivity than even semiconductors or superconductors. For high voltage electric power transmission, she is made of glass, porcelain, or composite polymer materials. Porcelain insulators are made from clay, quartz, or alumina and feldspar, and are covered with a smooth glaze to shed water. When mechanical strength is necessary, she uses porcelain rich in alumina.
And you see that little one next to her? That's semiconductors. She's rich because her dad invented toaster strudel.
Semiconductor has very interesting optical properties.
What's that?
She can be used to make lasers and LEDs. This is because of impurities called dopants. A certain color of light is emitted when a voltage is applied to her.
Semiconductors aren't good at being an insulator or a conductor. Free charge carriers aren't usually present in her, but with enough energy, they can be generated. Typically, she's made of silicon crystals with controlled impurities. This doping causes the changes in conductivity.
Why do you hate them?
What do you mean?
You seem to really hate them.
Yes? What's your question?
Well, what do they do?
They're conductors and insulators. There's nothing they don't do in circuits. For example, wires are made of copper, a conductor, and the covering is made of plastic. Here, this is for you.
We're doing a survey of new students. Can I ask you a few questions?
Sure.
What is electrical engineering?
Well, it's an engineering discipline that deals with electricity, electronics, and electromagnets. It's divided into many subfields like power, control, microelectronics, and telecommunications.
Is he bothering you? Jason, why are you such a skis?
I'm surveying about electrical engineering. Why can't I talk to a new student?
Jason, you do not come to a party at my house with Gretchen and then scam on some innocent girl in front of us 2 days later. She's not interested, right?
Yeah.
Great, it's settled. Bye, Jason.
Shut up.
Good comeback. You should do stand-up.
And we moved here 2 weeks ago.
Where did you get that bracelet? I love it.
Africa?
It's so fetch.
What is fetch?
It's like slang from England.
So, if you're like from Africa, why are you white?
Oh my god, Karen, you can't just ask people why they're white.
Katie, could you give us some privacy for like 1 second?
Sure.
You have to do it and tell me all the things that they do.
I think conductors and insulators seem cool.
Superconductors are not cool. She's the most conductor of all conductors. She's an intermetallic alloy or compound that can conduct electricity with no resistance at a low temperature. Resistance produces loss in energy in the material, so it is undesirable. When electrical current is set into motion, it will flow forever in a closed superconductor circuit. So it is the closest thing that we have to perpetual motion.
Most of the physical properties of superconductors vary from material to material, such as heat capacity and the critical temperature, critical field, and critical current density at which superconductivity is destroyed.
What would we even talk about?
Superconducting phase transitions?
The Meissner effect?
Just do it, please.
Okay. Do you have anything pink? Having lunch with the conductors and insulators was like leaving the actual world and entering engineer world. An engineer world has a lot of rules.
So, conductor implies that the outer electrons of the atoms are loosely bound and free to move through the material. Most atoms hold on to their electrons tightly and are insulators. In copper, the valence electrons are essentially free and strongly repel each other. Any external influence which moves one of them will cause a repulsion of other electrons, which propagates domino fashion through the conductor. So basically, metals are good conductors and nonmetals are not. We always test people before we invite them to eat lunch with us. Like mercury or lead, we test them and see that they are superconductors because their resistivity gradually decreases and the temperature is lowered. That means that they can sit with us. And if you break any of these rules, you can't sit with us. I mean, not just you, any of us. If my outermost electrons aren't so tightly bound that there's essentially zero electron flow through them with ordinary voltages, then I couldn't sit with the insulators either.
Have you seen anyone that could be a conductor yet?
Actually, there is this one guy in my calculus class. Never mind, it's stupid.
Who is it?
Is it a metal?
His name is fiberglass.
No.
No, it can't be fiberglass. Fiberglass is the most commonly used insulator in modern times. Don't worry, we won't tell Regina what you said.
Even if he isn't a conductor, it doesn't mean I can't look at him. Electrical insulators are used to hold conductors in position, separating them from one another and from surrounding structures. They form a barrier between energized parts of an electric circuit and confine the flow of current to wires or other conducting paths as desired. The insulation of electrical circuits is a necessary requirement for the successful operation of all electrical and electronic apparatus. They're important, so why should we not be allowed to sit at our table?
So how was your first week?
Good. I'm joining the computer engineers.
No, you cannot do that. Computer engineers are involved in many hardware and software aspects of computing, from the design of individual microcontrollers, microprocessors, personal computers, and supercomputers to circuit design. This field of engineering not only focuses on how computer systems themselves work, but also how they integrate into the larger picture. They are nerds. It is social suicide. You are so lucky that you have us to guide you, and we will continue to guide you onto the field of electrical engineering if you have any questions.
Down in London town to go with the record selection and the mirror's reflection. I'm a dancing with myself.